A Character Morality Guide. Chapter 1. Character and Morality. Code of Conduct and Common Sense Rules in School. The following is a code of conduct I summarized from the code of a local school in my area. There are etiquette books at number 395 at the library. Feel free to use it or parts of it as a code of conduct in your school. Most good behavior is intuitive. You act in such a way as to make other people feel good. You don't hurt them or bully them. The mission of life is to develop yourself to be the best person you can possibly be, both for yourself and the world. As an individual, strive to be curious and inspired about life. Open to learning new things. Help people now and then. Do work around the house. Help your parents. Develop an ideology. What do you believe in? Where do you stand on social issues? Be proud of who you are by creating yourself as the person you want to be. Make friends in your neighborhood, school, etc. Know where you can go to get help if you need it. The code of life in any community is mutual cooperation, trust, respect, safety, and equal treatment of everybody. You must report abuse, bullying, and crimes when you see them being committed. You must be open to learning. You must be courteous and tolerant of people different from you. You must be responsible for your own actions and realize there are consequences for whatever you do, both good and bad. Behave, dress and speak in a respectful manner that is not offensive to others. Do not harass others verbally, physically, sexually, emotionally, or racially. Do not infringe on other people's lives. Don't try to be a smart-ass and interfere with their right to an education even if you are not particularly interested or motivated. Pursue personal excellence in academic, social, physical, and emotional development. Be aware of health and safety at all times. If you feel physically or emotionally threatened by bullies, relatives, friends, or strangers, report it immediately. You won't be a sissy. You'll be doing the right thing. Take your education seriously. If you feel your teacher is not doing a good job, report it to the principal. Parents should help their children with schoolwork and be actively involved with the child's life at school. Simply ask him or her how is it going. When you come to school, be ready to learn. Do your homework. Complete your assignments. Try to make learning an intrinsic experience, for the love of knowledge, not just something you have to do. Be on time. Don't miss school unless you have a good reason. Follow the rules. Don't cheat. Don't be a loudmouth, bully, or a show-off. Don't swear. Be courteous to others. Be tolerant of other people's ethnic backgrounds, religions, beliefs, and customs. Cooperate with others. Respect others. Trust your schoolmates unless they give you a reason not to. Participation in school activities is good for fun and character development. Don't make inappropriate physical contact with others, such as sexual touching, rough play, pushing or running in the halls, and banging into people. Don't use the school computers to surf the internet for inappropriate materials, generally sexual and violence-related websites. Be clean. Don't go to school without washing yourself. Don't go into rooms other than your homeroom unless you get permission to do so. Do not smoke in school or around it. Walkmans or Discmans are not allowed to be used at school. Skateboards, roller blades, or any such devices are not permitted to be used in school. Cell phones, laser pointers and pagers are not to be used in school. Snowballs, spitballs, paper balls, etc. are not permitted to be thrown in school. Don't eat food in class or in front of others unless they're eating or you plan to share it. There will be no loitering, hanging around doorways. Develop a sense of fair play among your fellow students. Don't be a busybody, gossip, or a brown-noser. Mind your own business. No weapons, alcohol, or drugs are allowed on school property. Maintain a reasonable standard of hygiene for yourself. Go easy on perfume and colognes. Wear appropriate clothing. This includes attention to the following types. Too short in the leg area. It should at least be as long as the longest extended finger when the arms are at the sides. halter tops, spaghetti straps, muscle shirts, short-cut tops, anything with an exposed navel, sheer/see-through blouses, torn, smells or is scented too strongly, with inappropriate slogans or pictures on them. Hats are not allowed to be worn in school. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights. udhr.org. unhchr.ch/udhr. un.org/overview/rights.html. On December 10, 1948, the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a guide to be used by member countries. It was supposedly started by Eleanor Roosevelt. Even though it is routinely violated virtually everywhere by even our supposed free champion of liberty nations, it is nevertheless a good guide for how people should treat each other and live with each other. Preamble. Whereas recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. Whereas disregard and contempt for human rights have resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged the conscience of mankind, and the advent of a world in which human beings shall enjoy freedom of speech and belief and freedom from fear and want has been proclaimed as the highest aspiration of the common people. Whereas it is essential, if man is not to be compelled to have recourse, as a last resort, to rebellion against tyranny and oppression, that human rights should be protected by the rule of law. Whereas it is essential to promote the development of friendly relations between nations. Whereas the peoples of the United Nations have in the Charter reaffirmed their faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of the human person and in the equal rights of men and women, and have determined to promote social progress and better standards of life and larger freedom. Whereas member states have pledged themselves to achieve, in cooperation with the United Nations, the promotion of universal respect for and observance of human rights and fundamental freedoms. Whereas a common understanding of these rights and freedoms is of the greatest importance for the full realization of this pledge. Now, therefore, the General Assembly proclaims this Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations, to the end that every individual and every organ of society, keeping this declaration constantly in mind, shall strive by teaching and education to promote respect for these rights and freedoms, and by progressive measures, national and international, to secure their universal and effective recognition and observance, both among the peoples of member states themselves and among the peoples of territories under their jurisdiction. Article 1. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Article 2. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration, without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. Furthermore, no distinction shall be made on the basis of the political, jurisdictional, or international status of the country or territory to which a person belongs, whether it be independent, trust, non-self-governing, or under any other limitation of sovereignty. Article 3. Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. Article 4. No one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. Article 5. No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Article 6. Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. Article 7. All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination. Article 8. Everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals for acts violating the fundamental rights granted him by the Constitution or by law. Article 9. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. Article 10. Everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal, in the determination of his rights and obligations and of any criminal charge against him. Article 11. 1. Everyone charged with a penal offence has the right to be presumed innocent until proved guilty according to law in a public trial at which he has had all the guarantees necessary for his defence. 2. No one shall be held guilty of any penal offence on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offence, under national or international law, at the time when it was committed. Nor shall a heavier penalty be imposed than the one that was applicable at the time the penal offence was committed. Article 12. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to the protection of the law against such interference or attacks. Article 13. 1. Everyone has the right to freedom of movement and residence within the borders of each state. 2. Everyone has the right to leave any country, including his own, and to return to his country. Article 14. 1. Everyone has the right to seek and to enjoy in other countries asylum from persecution. 2. This right may not be invoked in the case of prosecutions genuinely arising from non-political crimes or from acts contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations. Article 15. 1. Everyone has the right to a nationality. 2. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his nationality nor denied the right to change his nationality. Article 16. 1. Men and women of full age, without any limitation due to race, nationality or religion, have the right to marry and to found a family. They are entitled to equal rights as to marriage, during marriage, and at its dissolution. 2. Marriage shall be entered into only with the free and full consent of the intending spouses. 3. The family is the natural and fundamental group unit of society and is entitled to protection by society and the state. Article 17. 1. Everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others. 2. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property. Article 18. Everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief and freedom, either alone or in community with others and in public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. Article 19. Everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. Article 20. 1. Everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. 2. No one may be compelled to belong to an association. Article 21. 1. Everyone has the right to take part in the government of his country, directly or through freely chosen representatives. 2. Everyone has the right of equal access to public service in his country. 3. The will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of government. This will shall be expressed in periodic and genuine elections which shall be by universal and equal suffrage and shall be held by secret vote or by equivalent free voting procedures. Article 22. Everyone, as a member of society, has the right to social security and is entitled to realization, through national effort and international cooperation and in accordance with the organization and resources of each state, of the economic, social, and cultural rights indispensable for his dignity and the free development of his personality. Article 23. 1. Everyone has the right to work, to free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work and to protection against unemployment. 2. Everyone, without any discrimination, has the right to equal pay for equal work. 3. Everyone who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, ensuring for himself and his family an existence worthy of human dignity and supplemented, if necessary, by other means of social protection. 4. Everyone has the right to form and to join trade unions for the protection of his interests. Article 24. Everyone has the right to rest and leisure, including reasonable limitation of working hours and periodic holidays with pay. Article 25. 1. Everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. 2. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. Article 26. 1. Everyone has the right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory. Technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. 2. Education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. 3. Parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children. Article 27. 1. Everyone has the right freely to participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts, and to share in scientific advancement and its benefits. 2. Everyone has the right to the protection of the moral and material interests resulting from any scientific, literary, or artistic production of which he is the author. Article 28. Everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. Article 29. 1. Everyone has duties to the community in which alone the free and full development of his personality is possible. 2. In the exercise of his rights and freedoms, everyone shall be subject only to such limitations as are determined by law solely for the purpose of securing due recognition and respect for the rights and freedoms of others, and of meeting the just requirements of morality, public order, and the general welfare in a democratic society. 3. These rights and freedoms may in no case be exercised contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations. Article 30. Nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, group, or person any right to engage in any activity or to perform any act aimed at the destruction of any of the rights and freedoms set forth herein. Chapter 2. Character and Morality 2. Emotional Intelligence Info. Emotional intelligence is about empathy, feeling what others feel. How to be relaxed and avoid stress. How to decrease conflicts with others. How to have good relationships. Know yourself to be stable and strong. To me, it's one of them psychobabble terms that some psychobabbleist, Daniel Goleman, created in order to convince people they were deficient in emotional empathy so he could create a mini-industry by selling books, tests, and workshops on it. He makes the fallacious assumption that the human personality can be dissected into different, discrete parts, one of which is emotional intelligence, but it's all a crock of crap because we're holistic beings. Everything we think and do is tied into our emotions. We can't separate them from the rest of ourselves. Gottman.com, Goleman.com, Emotional Intelligence. eiconsortium.org, Consortium for Research on Emotional Intelligence in Organizations. eqperformance.com, Institute for Organizational Performance, bring emotional intelligence into organizations. unh.edu/emotional_intelligence. emotionaliq.com. equniversity.com, Emotional Intelligence Assessment. Emotion websites. aco.org/information/support/psychological-emotional.aspx. darkpersonalities.com. emotionalhealthonline.com. emotionalintelligencecentral.org. emotionalliteracyeducation.com. emotionalsupportanimals.org. emotionalsource6val.com, for police and others who mediate. emotionsrule.com. emotionsuniverse.com. eqi.org/emotions.htm, emotions importance of, management of negative feelings. faqs.org/faqs/support/emotional/resources-list, emotional support on the Internet. Gottman.com, Emotional Intelligence. Guide to Psychology.com. healthemotions.org/index.html, biology of positive emotions. heartmath.com, master your emotions. helpguide.org/mental/emotional_psychological_trauma.htm, emotional and psychological trauma. helpguide.org/mental/mental_emotional_health.htm. helping.apa.org, the American Psychological Association, how their services can help people deal with problems. human-emotions.com. psychologytoday.com. socialpsychology.org. socialthinking.com. uncommonwedge.co.uk/emotional_well-being/steps.html, basic needs steps by uncommon knowledge. wiki.answers.com/q/what_are_the_emotional_needs_of_person. worldovemotions.com. personalityresearch.org. Chapter 3. Character and Morality 3. The website goodhumans.com vs. The Ten Commandments. The ACLU did away with religion in the schools in the 1960s. Did this lead to a moral decline of American society? I was brought up going to Catholic schools, having religious classes for a half an hour every morning. In 1986, I was going to graduate school for some stuff called educational psychology, where they were teaching us the new paradigm, moral relativism. Everyone has their own moral code and you must respect that. Never mind that the moral code might be that I like to rape and murder young women, the lesson was to respect everyone with their own standards. I came across this website goodhumans.com. I went through the first page and I thought, what a joke. Near the bottom of the page, the creator of this website says, "Become gay. Homosexuals are far more clean and upstanding than the straight slobs. More homos make the world an okay place to live and commit sodomy." I specifically remember statements in the book of Leviticus saying homosexuality is bad. Somebody must have had a good reason to write this 3,500 years ago. The writer of this website says things like, buy tree-free paper. Resist using aluminum foil, plastic wrap and plastic bags. Reuse jars and plastic containers. Use rechargeable batteries. Work from home. Add mulch around your plants. Add weather strip and caulk around windows and doors. Ask your utility company for a home energy audit. Avoid aerosols. Avoid the drink box. Be an anarchist. Be an environmental activist. What does all this crap have to do with being a good person? So now we got some massively brainwashed person defining what good is for me. Then we got Republicans and Democrats thinking their side is the good side and everyone else is evil. I don't listen to any human being. They're all brainwashed and inherently evil. Just read the Old Testament. The Ten Commandments is good enough for me. The Ten Commandments can be found in Exodus 20:1-17 of the Old Testament of the Holy Bible. It is sometimes called the basis of Mosaic law after Moses, who brought the tablets down from the mountain, given to him by God. 1. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. 2. Thou shalt not make any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is under the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down to them or serve them. 3. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. 4. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 5. Honor thy father and mother. 6. Thou shalt not kill. 7. Thou shalt not commit adultery. 8. Thou shalt not steal. 9. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. 10. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Some notes from Bill Clinton's Morality at spectacle.org/1096/wilson.html. The final issue to me is that there are absolute standards of morality. Once a society refuses to acknowledge that, it degenerates and eventually self-destructs. What is a moral act to some, might seem immoral to others. Examples: Dr. Kevorkian, assisted death. abortion, homosexuality. Politicians pander for votes. They say what the people who they're talking to want even if it's morally wrong. A master politician is a good con artist. A moral person honest and consistent. Moral people with core beliefs are too honest for the dirty play of politics. Religions give structure and substance. Absolute moral standards are not inflicting harm on people who are not threatening you. Be honest and truthful. Morality websites at dmoz-odp.org/society/religion_and_spirituality/morality. Subcategories: Atheist, Buddhist, Christian, Freemason, Scientology, Abortion, End of life, Human rights, Peace, Poverty, Violence. Spectacle.org/1096/wilson.html, Bill Clinton's Morality, an editorial on the moral decline or redefinition or morality in the political world. Unification.net/ws/theme152.htm, World Scripture, War Against Evil, comparative discussion of sacred texts on the subject of evil. Goodhumans.com/guidelines, Good Humans Guidelines, help define what it means to be a good human being. Check out our in-depth rating system and get a measurement of your goodness. You can learn how to become a good human and help us define what that is. leaderu.com/org/probe/docs/sociobio.html, Sociobiology, Evolution, Genes, and Morality, about sociobiology, which claims to explain the origin and meaning of all human and animal social behavior in terms of genetics and natural selection. acme.com/jef/religion_sex, religion and sexual ethics, chart showing the positions of several major religions regarding sexuality issues. hi-ho.ne.jp/taku77, moral issues, research articles, and other essays regarding character education in the United States and Japan. Information about topics such as teenage pregnancy and school crime. pbs.org/wnet/religion and ethics, religion and ethics news, weekly news, information, transcripts, and forum related to PBS television series on religious and ethical issues. theology.edu/moral.htm, morality by R.P. Nettelhorst, is morality absolute and universal? Along the lines of the laws of physics? ourcivilization.com/moral/moral8.htm, recognizing good and evil, an explanation how good and evil are distinguished. Moralityinmedia.org, Morality in Media, interfaith organization established in 1962 to combat obscenity and uphold decency standards in the media. It maintains the National Obscenity Law Center. Onalifa.com, One Life, the relationship between evolution, genetics, morality, ethics, psychology, education, and culture. Frisian.com/moral-2.htm, morality, justice, and judicial moralism, says the worst edict that can possibly be imagined is the edict that permits liberty of conscience, the worst thing in the world. An essay on the relativity of ethics, morals, and conscience without a common basis. Fordham.edu/Halsall/mod/1794 Robespierre.asp, on the principles of political morality, a speech given by Maximilien Robespierre in February 1794. Unification.net/ws/theme058.htm, World Scripture, Good and Evil, how can we define what is good and what is evil? Touches upon several religious backgrounds for thoughts on good and evil. Chapter 4. Self-esteem and personality psychology. Good and bad self-esteem. The psychobabble industry comes up with the terms self-esteem, self-actualization, personality, identity, etc., then create all kinds of stupid articles, tests, and books about them, but I know it's all BS. You will never be happy unless you discover your true nature away from everything you've ever been brainwashed by, then honor it by releasing that natural energy every day to match your inherent standard of what a noble version of you is. Your true nature is the pure you. You don't need the world's bullshit to know you have a purity you should follow and live by. Keep piling the bullshit onto all those naive college students. I didn't write this. I believe I have a soul and that's it. One-liners mean nothing to me. My engine is my true nature/soul/essence. Good self-esteem. You have an overall feeling of hope about life. You treat others with kindness and respect. You're thankful for what you have. You exert a healthy level of independence. You feel little need to compare yourself with others. You're comfortable with failure. You're not afraid to say no. You're willing to work hard. You shy away from gossip. You have confidence in your own abilities. You take care of yourself, both physically and emotionally. You have a desire to help others. You know it's okay to lose or not always finish in first place. You seek out or are accepting of change. You have a strong sense of personal responsibility. You're open-minded to other viewpoints and opinions. Bad self-esteem. You're quick to get jealous or envious. You're constantly negative about yourself and/or others. Your feeling of self-worth is based on how you compare to other people. You gloss over positive things in life and dwell on the negatives. You feel compelled to achieve perfection. You're overly private or secretive. You fish for compliments. You constantly procrastinate or waste time with respect to the task at hand. You have frequent feelings of self-doubt. You're quick to blame others for personal mistakes or problems. You try to control others. You're overly positive, almost to the point of delusion. You internalize general negativity in the world by using it as proof of low self-worth. Self-esteem websites/identity personality websites. self-esteem-nase.org, NACE, National Association for Self-Esteem. allpsych.com/personality xenosize/contents.html, personality synopsis. childdevelopmentinfo.com. cln.org/themes/self_esteem.html, self-esteem. eapp.org, European Association of Personality Psychology. ericberne.com, author of Games People Play and founder of Transactional Analysis. freudpsa.com, Freud PSA. human-nature.com/esterson/index.html, Freud, Jeffrey Masson and Freud Seduction Theory. issid.org, International Society for the Study of Individual Differences. ISSIweb.org, International Society for Self and Identity. khanacademy.org/test-prep/mcat/individuals-and-society, self-identity, Khan Academy videos. kidshealth.org/kid/feeling/emotion/self_esteem.html, the story on self-esteem. more-selfesteem.com, building self-esteem. panc.ca, Personality and Consciousness, covers historical figures and theorists. perpsy.org, World Conference on Personality, Personality Psychology Foundation. personality-arp.org, Association for Research in Personality. personality-project.org, The Personality Project, links related to personality theory and research. personalityresearch.org, Great Ideas in Personality, focuses on scientific research programs. selfgrowth.com. thepersonalitysystem.org, Personality Psychology, a systems framework approach. Personality Psychology Organizations. aptinternational.org, Association for Psychological Type. personality-arp.org, Association for Research in Personality. arpdonline.com, Association for Research in Personality Disorders. bga.org, Behavior Genetics Association. bsbid.org.uk, British Society of the Psychology of Individual Differences. capt.org, Centre for Applications of Psychological Type. eapp.org, European Association of Personality Psychology. id-assoc.org, Individual Differences Association. Colorado.edu, Institute for Behavioral Genetics. issid.org, International Society for the Study of Individual Differences. groups.psychology.org.au/PIDPIG, Personality and Individual Differences Psychology Interest Group, APS. socialpersonality.ca, Social and Personality Section, Canadian Psychological Association. sbsb.org, Society for Personality and Social Psychology, Division 8 of the APA. personality.org, Society for Personality Assessment. Personality Journal websites. interscience.wiley.com/cgi-bin/jhome/4494, European Journal of Personality, EAPP Journal. idr-journal.com, Individual Differences Research. hograph.com/periodicals/journal-of-individual-differences, Journal of Individual Differences. wiley.com/bw/journal.asp?ref =0022-3506, Journal of Personality. apa.org/pub/journals/psp, Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, APA Journal. tandf.co.uk/journals/titles/00223891.asp, Journal of Personality Assessment, SPA Journal. elsevier.com/wps/find/journal description.cws_home/622897/description, Journal of Research in Personality, ARP Journal. sciencedirect.com/science/journal/01918869, Personality and Individual Differences, ISID Journal. sbsb.org/page =PSBB, Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, SPSP Journal. sbsb.org/page =PSBR, Personality and Social Psychology Review, SPSP Journal. apa.org/pub/journals/PA, Psychological Assessment, APA Journal. Chapter 5. Ethnic Culture Guide. Culture websites. academiccommons.org, aclassichandicraft.com, affordablehousing-alliance.com, atopworldwide.org, Threat Assessment, beforeidie.cc, bioartsociety.fi/deep_time/deep-time-of-life-and-art, biography.com, blog.splitwise.com, breathingearth.net, cdc.gov/phppost/pce, census.gov, census.gov/he/www/poverty/poverty.html, separ.net, chartercities.org, cia.gov/library/publications/the-world-factbook, CIA World Factbook, citylab.com, citimoears.com, cityofboston.gov/doit/apps/citizensconnect.asp, cnu.org, codeforamerica.org, cohousing.org, collegenews.org, communicate.com/cross-cultural-training/intercultural-awareness.php, communities.idea.gov.uk, councileforecon.org, cpnas.org, cprconservation.com, cert.org, ctbia.org, cultures.com, cwis.org, Center for World Indigenous Studies, deeproot.com, diku.com, earth911.com, ecologjandSociety.org, economicsnetwork.ac.uk, edda.org, eesi.org, emptyhomes.com, en.wikibooks.org, en.wikipedia.org/w/index.php ? Title =cultural_artifact en.wikipedia.org/wiki/community en.wikipedia.org/wiki/community_building en.wikipedia.org/wiki/community_center en.wikipedia.org/wiki/community_engagement